So dear students, now we will discuss about the properties of division. So first property is, if we divide 6 with -3, then what is the quotient? So it is -2. Now question arises, why it is -2? Because here divisor is negative but dividend is positive. There is one term is negative, so our quotient is -2. So we know that -2 is an integer, but if we divide 3y -2, then is its quotient is an integer? No, because when we divide 3 with -2, the answer is in decimal. So it may be, what is the answer? It may be -1.5. So it is -1.5. So it is not an integer. So property 1 is, the quotient of two integers is not always an integer. The quotient of two integers, here the quotient is an integer, but here the quotient is not an integer. So this is the property number 1. And property number 2, when an integer is divided by the same integer, if we divide -7 divided by -7, so what is the quotient? So it is 1. So when we divide 5 with 5, again quotient is 1. So when an integer is divided by an same integer, the quotient is always equal to 1. So property number 3, when any integer is divided by 1, if we divide -8 by 1, then what is the quotient? It is -8. And if we divide 9 with 1, then what is the quotient? It is 9. So here, when an integer is divided by 1, the quotient is the same integer. When we divide -8 with 1, we get quotient -8. When we divide 9 with 1, we get quotient 9. Next, property number 4, when 0 divided by any integer is 0. So next we have worksheet number 7. So in worksheet number 7, put the appropriate sign in the quotient. The first A part is -9 divided by 3. So our quotient is 3. What is it? Whether it is positive or negative, because dividend is negative, so our quotient is in negative. In part number B, it is -30 divided by -10. So in this question we see that both dividend and divisor are negative, so our quotient is positive 3. And in part number C, 16 divided by -4. Again in this question, divisor is negative but dividend is positive, so one term is negative, so our answer quotient is in -4. So from here we see that if both dividend and divisor are negative, the quotient is always positive. And if dividend is negative, divisor is positive, quotient is negative. And if dividend is positive and quotient is divisor is negative, then quotient is negative. So if one of the term is negative, then the quotient is always negative. If both dividend and divisor are negative, the quotient is always positive.